Thanks for joining me today. Today I will be changing the brake pads on the front of my Ford Explorer. There's my shed with my little jack. Gotta go get it. This is gonna be a backyard service job. In my Ford Explorer, this is where I stuck my jack, right there. By no means am I an expert. Do not follow any steps that I do. This is just me showing you how I do my brakes. You may leave a comment and suggestion on what's a good way to do this, but don't take this by heart of whatever I do in my videos. The best bet is to consult a professional on this. This is just the way I've done it. Right now I'm removing the wool hubcap to get to the nuts, the lug nuts. My specially welded breaker bar or ratchet. I can't even talk. Yeah. I use the jack handle, handy. I break them free before I get the vehicle fully off the ground. I just wanted to get the jack in the place before I fully bring the car up off the ground. I'll get all 5 of these loose enough that I'll be able to spin them off with my impact 1/4-inch drive. Right now I'm going to jack it all the way up and get the jack stand under it to support it. Right here's where I put the jack stand under the front support. That seemed to be the best spot on my vehicle. Yeah, see, now I notice that the car's not high enough. I need to get a little bit higher so that when I do let the jack down onto the jack stand, the tire is off the ground. So I'm going to jack it up a little bit higher to get that. But what I do a lot of the times, I leave both the jack and the jack stand. I loosen up the jack just enough that it still has a little bit of the support on it. I use the board underneath it so that it doesn't sink into the ground. It did a pretty good job. See, I check it. Make sure that it's on there pretty good. I gave you a thumbs up. Now I can get the 5 lug nuts off. There's my 1/4-inch drive. That doesn't have enough power to take off the lug nuts. Now the tire's off. A lot of the times I use the tire as a seat. I'm going to look at the rotor here. The front of my rotor actually looked pretty good. The back of it, once you can see the brake pad when I take it off, you'll notice that it has some indents. I would recommend you replace it, but at this time I didn't replace mine. It's good enough. Good enough for me. Trying to get some light in there to help the video stand out a little bit more. It didn't really help much, I don't think. I think on this part I kind of look at what type of bolts I need, or bolts, yeah, sockets, and it looks like it's 14 on my vehicle. 14 millimeter socket to get the 2 bolts holding the caliper on. They weren't fairly tight. I'm not sure of the torque specs of it. They come off fairly easy. In the ideal situation, you want to support the brake caliper, not off the brake line like I did, but I didn't even bother to get anything to hang it. As you can see on that back brake pad, it did have some unique wear. Now I'm going to check these, I don't know what they're called, the slide pins that the bolts actually go into. They move fairly easy. One of the things too to check with those slide pins is if they don't move too easy, you're going to get uneven wear, like the front pad's going to be worn more than the back pad. That's one thing to check. Also what I'm doing there is with the wire wheel, making sure that the grooves that are cleaned out where the little metal tabs go, those are vibration dampeners. I think they kind of just help the pads a little bit. See, this is the slide pins. I like to just clean them up. There is some grease that you're supposed to put in. I just put normal, like, grease in it. Ball bearing grease, I don't know what you'd call it. Any type of lubricant should do fairly decent. There's my grease gun. You get a little bit of squirting on it. Oh yeah, that's a old army shirt. That's a best way to use the shirts. Slide's good. Now let's check the bottom one. That one's a little rusted. Get it cleaned up. Now right here, coming up, watch this. Wait for it. Wait. Oh, right there. I do not know why I started rubbing that with the grease that was on my hand. And for some reason I was like thinking maybe it'll help prevent some rust. Probably not the best idea I thought of, but it probably won't hurt it at all. As long as you just don't get it on your caliper. Or not caliper, rotor. Yeah. You'll be fine. Oh, there's a greaser up there that I did end up putting some grease in. Or I am going to. Oh. Yep, I didn't put grease in it yet. I was going to check it out. That's one of the ball joints. Now's the time to check any ball joints or anything that's greasable and service them. That was the only one that I noticed.
Record them. Yep. Right?
What I use is a C-clamp for is to push the caliper back. As you can see right now, I'm struggling. It would have been nice to have some assistance. I was offered it, but I denied it. I'm a man. I'm a goofball. I should have just took it. Oh, I did not. So I struggle with my shakiness. Now I notice that I'm only pushing in one caliper or one piston. Then I realized, hey, I can stick the C-clamp on the other way. Just gotta find it to get it. A lot of the times it's so much easier with the assistance. One of the best things to do is don't ever refuse assistance unless you're really effing stubborn, which sometimes I am. It feels like you can get something done better or easier without somebody you're trying to work around. But a lot of the times it's a better help. That's good advice. Oh yeah, and if you notice, a lot of my tools are Pittsburghs and everything. They're Harbor Freight brands. They're cheap. They do the job of mostly everything that I've needed to do. As you can see, I'm doing a brake job in my backyard, so I really are a little frugal with my money. Like these brake pads, they're from Rock Auto. You can get them a lot cheaper. Yeah, I found one of the metal tabs are broke or bent up already. It was so nice of them to send me a bent up one. That's a nice back of the head. And these metal brackets that you're putting in, it's just a matter of being a little patient with it. And the best thing is just having a little screwdriver to help push it down into the little slots that it snaps in, checking to make sure that it's not going to be rubbing on your rotor when you're doing it too. And they're a pretty snug fit. I have seen it where these metal brackets that you're putting in are too tight and actually hold up the pads where they don't release so much and they stick. Why? Why would you ask? Huh? I have to straighten that one out.
It's pretty nice out.
It's hot. Yeah, that was my wife asking if I needed any help. And, yep, of course, I denied it. It was pretty hot that day. Am I going bald? I don't know. What do you think? It doesn't look like it, but man. I don't really see the back of your head that much. I'm not sure exactly why I did that. Rub them together. I think I've seen it once before and I decided to do that. Maybe it's a good reason. Maybe you guys know what, if there's a reason why I do that. I noticed that there's a little metal part of that bracket that I put on that were getting caught with the brake pads. I needed a screwdriver to push up on it. I think on one part I do show you where it's getting caught up on. Yeah, right here. Come on, you focus. Focus your camera. I don't know if you can see the right where it's getting caught at. Yep,
You see the frickin' tab?
right there, that little silvery tab needs to go up to allow the pad to slide in. That is what's fighting me right there. I just need to push up on the screwdriver and pop it in. Gotta refocus. I got the camera on manual focus. Oh, by the way, that little light there, I got that on Amazon. It was like $11 for 4 of those that are rechargeable. They're neat little lights. They work really good in very low lighting areas. But right now, in this video, it was pretty bright out, so it didn't really help too much. Right here, I noticed that I didn't push the pads in or the pistons in all the way. I guess they go flush. That's been a little bit since I've done brake pads. So I'm trying. There, I think I got it now. Yep. Now it just slides right in. Yeah, that top bolt was fighting me, so I found that for some reason by putting in the bottom bolt, I was able to get it to catch and drive back in pretty easy. As you can see by the back of my shirt, I'm in the way. But I'm putting in the bottom bolt right now. See? It didn't take too long to get that bottom bolt to catch and drive in. Now I'm putting in the top bolt. And it seems to be going in. Now it's a matter of just going back and tightening back up. There is a torque specification on a service manual, but I don't have it for this vehicle. You can also probably look up it online. That's probably the best bet, is to make sure that you do put things to the torque spec. I like to live on the wild side, so I torque it to my specially calibrated hands. Yeah. I think right now I jump in the vehicle and press the brakes a couple times to get the caliper to seat. Then I kind of do a little quick check of it. Just make sure that it frees itself up pretty quick, which it does. Now this should have been all that I needed to do on this brake. I'm putting these brake pads in. But I started to wipe around and I noticed something. This is just showing that they're installed and how they are. If you have any comments or questions about it, just let me know. But this is what concerned me. The rubber boot on my CV axle is off. So I attempt to put it back on. One thing that I did do is I couldn't get the clamp to go back on. I don't have any of those metal clamps, so I just used probably not the best thing, but I just use zip ties to hold it in. It was a pain in the butt to get that to slide back on. As you can see in the video, I'll be struggling with this for a few minutes. But it is kind of, since I'm there, I might as well just make sure that what I know is good. The best thing is probably to get a professional to look at it. I'm no professional. But this is all that I have, is to see what I can figure it out is wrong. So I put the boot back on and zip tie it, and to me it's good enough. Now, I couldn't say 5 months down the road it pops off and causes a problem, but it's not like it's going to make the wheel fall off. Talking about a wheel falling off, one of the biggest things about when you do take off a tire, make sure you tighten the lug nuts. A few years ago, I did a similar job like this on one of the vehicles that we owned, and I did all 4 brakes, the front and the back, and the very last tire in the back, I guess I forgot to tighten the lug nuts back up all the way, and it probably showed itself a month later. The tires, the car was making a very loud clanking noise, and while you was driving down the road and shaking really bad. And we were at a store, and then I was like, wait a minute. And I went out and got out and checked the lug nuts, and there was all of them but one was still tight. All the rest of them were almost all the way off. So I lucked out on losing a tire. I've never fully experienced it. I have experienced where a lug nuts have busted while we were driving down the road on a truck of my brother's. We were driving and heard a couple pops and got out, and there was one lug nut left holding the tire on out of 5 lug nuts. These studs actually broke on that one. It was an old F-150. It was pretty funny, but in that truck he actually had a couple curbs and all kinds of stuff in that, and a couple stop signs. He actually welded an I-beam on as the front bumper on that truck. It was kind of funny, and he was crazy. We'd be driving speed limit 55 down the road, then all of a sudden we're driving speed limit 55 out in the field in that truck. You never knew where we were going to be driving with my brother. I'll talk about another story about that truck too. I wanted to go to my friend's house, and he wouldn't stop, so I decided I was just going to jump out. Well, apparently at 25 miles an hour, you can't just tuck and roll. It doesn't really work that way. I got pretty bruised up from that experience. Right there, I'm cinching up the last zip tie, or one of the zip ties, and it should hold for a while. I should probably check it after driving a little bit. Yep, it's on there tight. Good to go. Now let's throw the tire back on. I do have one question for everybody that does watch this video. In the bolt patterns, I know it's every other one on if you have 5 lug nuts. Does it actually matter if you tighten them every other one, or do it all of them? Just one after another. I don't know. That's a good experience or experiment. I don't know. I can't talk. Now I want to. After I use the 1/4 inch impact, I do get it a little bit snugger. Snugger, is that a word? I think so. Snugger. You're a good snugger. There are the torque specifications for the lug nuts too. I'm specially calibrated. What am I doing? Oh, I'm gonna move the camera. See? Then what I'm gonna do is jack up the truck to get the jack stand out so that I can put the tire on the ground, but not fully until I get the lug nuts fully tightened. Is what I should have done, but I think I just put it all the way to the ground. Oh yeah, the jack was slipping right there as I was lowering it. It's okay. Like my, cheater bar. It's my jack handle. I go through the lug nuts twice to make sure that I do have them tight enough. Now it's off to the side number 2, the right side, or the passenger side. You see that little pink bend? I used that to hold the camera up when I was showing the jack stand, when I was putting the jack stand on. That's why that's there. Gather my tools to get to the other side. Funny thing is, those sandals, I bet you couldn't guess how old those are. They are damn near 18 years old. They're Reeboks, they haven't fully died yet, and they're starting to split on one of the sandals. Well, I haven't given them up on them yet. I essentially what I've noticed is where I'm actually putting that jack stand is actually the transmission support brace. It looks like it was the best spot for the jack. I couldn't say if it is the best, but it was working out pretty well for me. So on this side, I'm trying to just hurry up and get it done. I'm not really trying to take my time and show everything about it. This side, I didn't notice anything with the CV shaft or anything, so it was fairly quick and easy. I do know by working on that CV shaft, it is a lot quieter now. I do notice that I might be having some issues with my drive shaft, I think. There's some kind of humming noise coming from the rear end. It's not that loud, but it is noticeable. So the best way to get rid of the noises is turn the radio up. Just ignore it. I don't know how long this vehicle will last, so I'm not really too concerned with it. It's still functioning just fine. So the only reason I'm doing the brakes on this is because they were right at the wear pads on it, or the plates, whatever you'd call them. So I had to do something about it. That got a little scary. I thought the jack was coming down. That crankling noise. But I still prevail on. Whatever you'd call it. I can't even say it. Man. Now look at the bottom of those sandals. They're almost smooth. Funny. Oh, what's funny about that board that I'm using? My son was cleaning up his room, and that's a toy box. The side of it. I decided that well, that'll work pretty good. That's a good board. I was thinking of using it to lay down on when the grass was pretty comfy, so I didn't worry too much about it. When I did need some kind of support to put under the jack stand, or it would have really just sunk into the ground. Oh, I think on this side I don't even get close to showing what's going on. So if you need to kind of look back at the video, I'd say do the driver's side and check out that. This is essentially symmetrical, exactly the same procedure as what you'd be doing on the left side on the right, and some vice versa. But one thing with doing brakes, you always want to do it in pairs. Essentially, anything on the vehicle, if your right wheel bearing's going bad, you want to change your left, just for a precaution. They're gonna be wearing the same amount, just about. But one thing I did notice about a lot of vehicles, and I don't know if it's America that actually about it, but always the passenger side um, always seems to have the more problems. I've noticed that I've had a lot more wheel bearings go bad on the right side, struts go bad on the right side. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe it's just it's closer to the shoulder of the road and it gets a lot more abuse, or if it's a design flaw in vehicles. But uh, even different makes and models of vehicles, I've had more problems with the passenger side. If you have any comments about it, let me know. I've had it where on these rods that I'm pulling out, the little sliding rods, where they were so rusted and stuck in there that the reason I end up checking those is on that particular car, the pad was so gone in the back, the front pad looked brand new. It wasn't even moving evenly. So the back pad was actually just the only one that was doing the stopping. And it was due to those pins not being able to freely slide back and forth. So it is best to check those if you're going to be doing brake pads on any of your vehicles. Best bet is if you do have the money to do it, is just have a qualified service technician do it. If I can save $1, I'm gonna do it. I didn't have anything to do that day, and I already have the brake pads. I just haven't put them on. They weren't fully to the wear indicators. I think I paid $20 for the pads. This whole thing, even videotaping it, took me, I think, a total of 2 hours. The longest part of this video is right here, me talking and editing. Yeah, it could probably go a little bit faster and better if I knew what I was doing, but right now, here I am, talking to you guys. The more and more I do this, the better I will be. So I think this is a stride in the going forward. The best thing to do is just keep trying and doing more that you can do. That's the only thing you can do. Like what are you doing when you're a baby? You can't walk so you had to crawl. So these are the crawling steps that you have to crawl before you can walk. So don't get upset if you can't crawl yet. You're still learning. So and everything that you do, you're still learning. So don't get upset if you don't understand it right at the beginning. It just takes time, and just keep doing what you're doing. If you need somebody to help you along, let them. That's the best thing in life, is we humans have each other to help. Yeah, we are stubborn sometimes. A lot of the times I am stubborn and won't accept help. But it is the best thing to do is let somebody in to help you. You'll get further along with somebody else's help than you will alone. Oh, well, I'm beating him right there. Oh, the back pad was fighting me. The metal tabs or metal bracket that I had to put on, I had to kind of reshape it because it was bent from the inside the package, and I didn't get it right the first time, so I had to clean it up and straighten it up, and that's what I was doing, was trying to tap that pad back in, and I did end up pulling it out and reshaping that piece of metal to get it to go back in right. The video's adding up pretty good. It's pretty long. If you're still here by now, I salute you for this endeavor of watching me change my brake pads. It's still going. Oh, by the way, I think we have less than 10 minutes left of this video, so don't worry, I'm just about done. Because I just grabbed the bolts to put the caliper back on. So once I get the caliper molded back on, I'll throw on the wheel and call it good. Today of me editing this video is a day after me performing this brake pad change, and so far so good. The pads are doing really good. That's not squeaking or anything, and I'm not hearing any noises coming from it, so I'd say I can pat myself on the back. I did a good job. And it is stopping, so that's a plus. I am sad that I did wear my relaxing shorts on out, and when I did this, I got them a little dirty, so I'm sad. These are my lounging shorts, or my lazy shorts. Yep. Job's almost done. Just gotta put the tire back on. I'm gonna check the video to see if it stopped on me. Dig the nuts out of the grass. So that's the one bad thing about working in the grass is sometimes it was nice that we just mowed the yard, so things weren't too tall, so I could find everything pretty easy. But if the grass was any taller, it'd be a little harder to find everything. I do want to thank everybody, if they did get up to this point, for just watching my video, helping me get along. I hope to make more videos like this, and even more. I have a lot of crazy inventions, crazy ideas that I want to do. I just haven't had enough time to do it. I do work a full-time job. A lot of the times we have been working 50 hours a week. I do work on the weekends too, so, and it is summertime, so we are camping and doing a lot of things with the kids, swimming and everything, so I don't have much free time. But I do have some other projects that I am working on. I haven't produced any lately. Oh, one thing to note about that is that was a bad idea to let the car down that quick. It's not very good, especially since I didn't have the lug nuts that tight. That's why I kind of laughed at it, because I couldn't let the jack down slowly. I just wanted to go fully down. I'm just snugging up the lug nuts right there. Always make sure. Well, thanks for watching. It was a pleasure to make this video, and please like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you did like this video. Anything will help. If you have any improvement ideas, any video ideas, that will be great too. Take a look at some of my other videos. That'll get a little bit better idea. But what I've learned lately is I'm gonna start to make videos about stories of mine, stories of the past, of what got me to where I am right now. And if you can tune in and like and subscribe, I can focus more on making more of these videos. Well, thank you, and have a good night. Bye.